Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, you will be learning about Introduction to Information Technology. This is my video tutorial series of Information Technology Lecture 1. In this video, you will be learning about what is data, what is information, and what is knowledge. And most important, what is a computer and its block diagram with the help of example. So I request you, please stay tuned till the end of this video. Please subscribe to my channel, like and share this video. Thank you. This will be my first topic of information technology. Here I will be just giving an introduction to information technology. So please stay tuned till the end of this video. Thank you. Let's learn the very first definition of information technology, data. So what is a data? Data is a collection of raw facts and figures. Data is a collection of raw facts and figures. It can be of any form. So it is without any proper meaning. Data will not have any meaning. Data may be collection of letters, numbers, graphics or sounds, etc. Represents something, quantities, actions and objects in real world. Data is a raw material in the production of information. So if you have a data, then only you can have the information. If you don't have data, you cannot have the information. So I will be explaining you the data and information with the help of example as well. So next we are going to learn the information. So what is information? So information is nothing but a processed data. Information is nothing but a processed data. The data processing based on different parameters upon the interest of the organization. If I have that particular data of, for example, if I have 100 student data, so if I am from the accounts department, I will be taking the data with my parameters related to fees. If you have 100 student data based upon, if you are from some results committee, if you want to take the data, you will be taking the results related data. So based upon the interest of your own, you will be having a different parameters and you will be having a different information. So data will be the same. Based upon the processing and the parameters, the information will get changed. So data processing based on different parameters upon the interest of the organization. Raw facts and figures are organized in order to become an information. Raw facts and figures are nothing but data. So data will be organized in such a way that if we can get some information from the data. So information will have a proper meaning and useful in decision making, whereas data was not having any proper meaning, and information is having a proper meaning, and information will be useful in decision making process. So let's see this data and information with the help of an example. For example, you have this application form. You have to fill this college application form. So once you finish this application form, for example, you have all these details now. So in this application form, you have filled the name. Name is of which type? Text type. Next, you have filled the date of birth is of date and time or date type. Next, you have the address and qualification, that is alphanumerical data. Alphanumerical data, and phone number is a number type. Phone number is a number type, and very important is your photograph is of image type. Photograph is of image type. So here you will be having a different type of data in one application form. One type of data is text, next date time, alphanumerical data, number data, image type data. So I have this data. So this particular data will not have any meaning. So if I process the data, I will be getting an information. So this is called as our data form. This is called as our data form. So once I click on a submit button, for example, if you are submitting this application form by paying certain fee or following certain rules and regulation, at the end you will be getting an enrollment number. You will be getting an enrollment number. So enrollment number here on the screen is 54869. So this enrollment number you got upon the submission of this application form. So to submit the application form, you have followed certain process. Okay, so it means data has been processed. Once the data is processed, you will be getting information. The information here on the screen is our enrollment number, is nothing but your ID. So once you submit the form, you will be getting an ID. So ID is nothing but an information. The data which you have filled in the application form is nothing but a data. So data is the basis for this information. So data will be raw material in the production of information. Knowledge is very important concept in information system. Knowledge is treated as an object. So knowledge is a familiarity, awareness or understanding of someone or something, such as facts, information, description or skills, which is acquired through experience or education, or by observing, discovering or learning someone or something. Knowledge can referred as theoretical or practical understanding of a particular subject. Knowledge is most valuable asset in decision making process. So this is a knowledge in information system. Let's see what is a computer. What is a computer? Computer is an electronic device that takes raw data as input from user and process this data under the control of set of instructions, that is nothing but programs. So what does actually the computer will do? Computer is an electronic device. Yes, without electricity computer won't work. It is going to take the raw data, as with the help of input devices we are going to put the raw data into the computer system. Computer is going to process that particular data. How the computer is going to process the data? Under the control of set of instructions. Instructions are nothing but programs, so designed to work with information. So here it is very clear, computer takes raw data and it is going to process the data. So process data is nothing but information. So computer is always designed to work with information. Accepts digitalized data, that is nothing but information. It helps to perform various different tasks, okay, like writing letters, creating pictures, making calculation, playing games, sending and receiving an email and much more. So this is a simple definition of a computer system. Block diagram of a computer. Here we are going to learn how the computer system will be working. Okay, how the computer system will be working, we are going to learn in our block diagram of a computer. So as everyone knows that computer will be having a certain devices by using which we can enter the data into the computer system, and computer is going to process with the help of certain devices, and at the end it is going to give us the output. And then it is going to give the output. Yes, exactly the same we will be having in our block diagram of a computer here. So first we'll be having an input unit. This input unit is going to send the data into a CPU, central processing unit. Okay, input unit is going to send the instructions or the data into central processing unit. So what the central processing unit actually? So central processing unit is again divided into three more units. The first unit we have is arithmetical logical unit. First we have. Next we have control unit. Next we have memory unit. So the combination of all these units will be called as central processing unit. ALU stands for arithmetical logical unit, means all arithmetical logical operations will take place. Control unit, the responsibility of control units to control the entire computer system. Memory unit, it is going to store the data. And last, okay, as we can see, each and every component of CPU will be interacting with each other to give the best results to the end user of the computer system. Okay, so ALU will be interacting with control unit will be interacting with memory unit will be interacting with ALU. All these different units will be interacting with each other to process the data and to give the desired data to the user. So after processing and after taking all the data, here we'll be having the CPU is going to give the data to the user in the form of output. in the form of output in the output unit, in the form of output on the output unit. So this is how our block diagram of a computer will work. So what are the input devices? Will be having input unit means we will be having a keyboard and mouse, most commonly used input devices. What about the output? Output unit will be having most commonly output devices. We will be having monitor and the printer. Monitor and the printer are the most commonly used output devices. Let's see the 5 basic units of a computer system. Basic units are nothing but the units which we have seen in a block diagram of a computer just now are the basic units of a computer system. So very first we have is input unit, next we have control unit CU, next memory unit MU, arithmetic logic unit ALU, and the last we have output unit. At last we have output unit. Here control unit, memory unit and arithmetical logical unit will comes under our CPU, central processing unit. Central processing unit will be having all these 3 units. So we are going to discuss in detail about this. The very first unit of a computer, block diagram of a computer we are going to learn here is central processing unit, CPU. So let's see what is CPU. CPU is the brain of a computer. CPU is a brain of a computer, transforms raw data into useful information. CPU is responsible for all processing. CPU is responsible for all processing. It has 3 parts. It has 3 parts. The very first we have is arithmetic logic unit ALU. Next control unit CU. Next we have the last one is memory unit. The last is memory unit. Control unit. By the name itself, control unit, it is going to control all the different parts of a computer system. So let's see what is control unit. It tells the computer that what specific sequence of operation it must perform. So which operation to be first, which operation to be next. So it is going to arrange all the computer operations in a sequence. It is going to tell the computer system how the computer system should behave, how the computer system should follow the instructions. It also specifies the timing of the instructions. Timing of the instructions is nothing but a sequence in which way the first and second or the third instruction is going to get executed. Its function is to fetch, decode and execute instructions that are stored in memory, that are stored in computer memory. So what is its function? Its function is to fetch. Okay, the data will be stored in computer memory. So whenever user requires the data, okay, the central processing unit will instruct to fetch the data from memory, to take the data from the memory. It's nothing but a fetching the data. Once the data is taken, it has to be decoded, because computer language is a binary language that user cannot understand the language. Computer language is a binary language. All the data is stored in a computer storage memory, that is in a form of binary data, so data will be stored in a binary form. So that data to be again transformed to the human readable form. So that data first has to be taken, that is nothing but a fetching the data from computer memory. Next, decoding the data. The data will be in a binary form. It has to be decoded to human readable form and execute the instructions that are stored in computer memory. So this is the main functionality of control unit. So it controls all computer parts. By the name itself, as I've told you, control unit is going to control all the computer parts. It is going to control all the computer parts. Arithmetic logic unit, it's very important unit of computer system where actual processing take place. All the processing type of things will be taken into this block of computer only, that is arithmetical logic unit, wherein we will be having all arithmetic and logical operations. Arithmetic operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, square root, etc. and logical operations such as and, or, not on binary numbers. On binary numbers only. Why binary numbers only? Because computer understands only one language, that is machine language. The machine language is nothing but a binary numbers, binary language. So computer stores the data in binary form. So it will be performing all the operations on binary numbers. So operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, square root, as well as the logical operations such as and or not on binary numbers only. So this arithmetical logical unit is the actual processing place in computer system. Memory unit of a computer system. So memory unit is a location, is a block or a unit of a computer system wherein we are going to have all the instructions, all the programs will be loaded. Okay, it's nothing but an inventory of a computer system where all type of instructions will be loaded. So it is a warehouse of the computer system wherein we will be having all sort of data, instructions, information will be stored. So it is a storage unit. It is a storage unit. Memory unit is nothing but a storage unit of a computer system. So let's see what is a computer memory. So computer memory is any physical device capable of storing information temporary or permanently. Temporary or permanently. So computer memory is any physical device which has a capability of storing any information. That particular information will be stored temporary purpose or sometimes permanent purpose. So that will be called as our computer memory. So that stores information on an integrated circuits used by operating system, software and hardware of a computer system. There are two types of memory. There are how many different types? Two types of computer memory. The very first type we have is primary memory. Next we have secondary memory. So under primary memory we will be having RAM and ROM. RAM and ROM will be called as primary memory. Secondary memory are nothing but hard disk, floppy disk, pen drives, etc. So hard drive, pen drives will comes under our secondary memory devices, whereas RAM and ROM will comes under our primary memory devices. So computer memory is divided into two types, primary memory and secondary memory. Let's see the brief differences between primary memory and secondary memory. So let's see the first one, primary memory. Primary memory or primary storage is also known as main storage or main memory, and it is a temporary storage as well. It is a temporary storage of a computer system. Now secondary memory is also known as secondary storage, and it is permanent in nature, permanent storage of a computer system. Primary memory is a volatile in nature. Primary memory is volatile in nature. That is, its contents are lost once power is off. Once power is off, the content will be lost from the primary memory, and primary memory is volatile in nature. Next, secondary memory is non-volatile in nature. Its content will remains or will not lose even if we stop the power supply. Primary memory is the area in a computer in which data is stored for quick access by the computer's processor. So whenever a processor requires the data, it first look into the primary memory. Okay. Next, the primary memory will take the data from secondary memory. So primary memory is the area in a computer in which data is stored for quick access by computer processor. Secondary memory. What is secondary memory? Secondary memory not directly accessed by computer processor. Okay. Next, the examples of primary memory are RAM and ROM are the examples of primary memory. Secondary memory examples are our hard drive, pen drives, CD, DVD are the examples of our secondary memory devices. So secondary memory devices can store the data permanently, and primary memory devices stores the data temporarily. Okay, primary memory are nothing but main memory, volatile in nature. Secondary memory are non-volatile in nature. The size of primary memory will be limited. the size of secondary memory will be huge. Okay. Input unit or input devices. Input unit is a one of the component of our block diagram of a computer. So let's see what is input unit. An input device or input unit is a hardware device that sends data to computer, allowing the user to interact with and control the computer system. If you have a input unit of your computer system, then only you can interact with the computer system and you can control the computer system. If you don't have any input unit, you cannot control or you cannot send the data to the computer system. Okay, so input unit is a hardware device, sends data to computer as well as allows you to interact and control the computer system. The most commonly used or primary input devices on any computer system are a keyboard and a mouse. Input devices sends data from device over a cable, wire or wireless transmission to the computer. So sometimes our input devices are connected to the PC with cables, sometimes without cables. So it means wireless. So sometimes wire transmission, sometimes wireless transmission. These are the some input devices which we commonly use. The very first, mouse, keyboard, joystick, light pen, touchpad, microphone, scanner, trackball, digital cameras. All these are input devices which we use. Output unit is the last unit of our block diagram of a computer. So let's see what is an output unit. An output unit or a device is a hardware device used to send data from a computer to another device or a user. What does it mean? It means that whenever any device wants to send a data, okay, if you don't have a monitor screen, you can't see what actually the process or the things are going inside the computer system. So monitor is an example of our output unit or a device. So an output device is a hardware device used to send the data from a computer. So you can have the printer. So from computer you can send the instructions to printer. So from a computer to another device, that is a printer, or a user. If something is visible on the screen, it is for the user. So an output device is a hardware device used to send data from a computer to another device or a user. Most output devices used by humans are monitor, printer, projector, speakers and headphones are the most commonly used output devices of a computer system used by humans. So there are two types of output devices. Very first type we have is soft copy output device. Next, hard copy output device. Soft copy output device are nothing but monitor and speakers. Hard copy output devices are nothing but printers, plotters. So this is all about our block diagram of a computer system. So in coming class, I will be telling you more in detail about different types of computers. These are output devices of a computer system. This monitor is a one type of output device. Printer is a one type of output device. Plotter, speaker. So all these are output devices of a computer system. In coming videos, I will be telling more in detail about computers. So stay tuned on my channel. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you. Please subscribe to my channel, like and share my video. Thank you.